is the president of ExxonMobil Guyana, and of course his name is Alistair Rutledge. I'll invite you to the podium to deliver your remarks.
Good morning, everybody. What an auspicious day it is today. Your Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, First Lady Ari Ali, members of the Cabinet, we're blessed to have such a significant turnout today. My co-venturers from Hess and CNOOC, thank you for joining us today. Professor Sankat, it's always great to see you, my friend, and I'm going to come back and talk about you a little more in a moment. To the students, of course, this is what the facility is all about, and I'm delighted that we have representatives who completed the full training starting in Canada, but also the class that is starting here is the first class to start their training here in Guyana. And thank you to everybody else for joining us today on this romantic day of St. Valentine's to celebrate the opening of this magnificent facility. And yes, as the professor mentioned, it was officially launched, the whole project, by His Excellency in May of 2021. But allow me a moment to go back a little further in history to late 2020. Not long after His Excellency took office, when we were just beginning to build a relationship with him and his cabinet, the topic of training came up. The topic of how do we ensure the Guyanese benefit from the development of Guyana's natural resources to the maximum amount possible. And that was the starting point of the discussion of what we sit today and are going to be able to tour, was that fundamental belief that we had to maximize the opportunity for Guyanese to benefit from the development of your resource. And from there, the discussion started about, but what should that look like? Because it can't just be average. For one, as an industry, we're bringing the latest technology to develop some of the deepest water oil and gas assets in the world, so it needs to meet those requirements. But for two, the government, led by His Excellency, have made it very clear that Guyana wants to raise its standards to be amongst the best in the world, and therefore the institution needs to match that vision. And so it was in early 2021, I found myself talking to our friend, Professor Sankat. Indeed, I mentioned to him, I remember we had a Zoom call because of course we were all still in COVID in those days and still trying hard to find ways to move around the world. And as I recall, he had not long retired from his presidency at one of the universities in the Caribbean and was enjoying some family time with his daughter in Canada. And we had that first conversation. And Zoom can be a very impersonal way to start any relationship, but it was very clear to me that this was a man who had passion for education. And when you marry that with the fact that the project, by the direction of the Office of the President, was to be in Berbice, made him the perfect choice, a son of Berbice. And he has been the champion. He himself mentioned that it takes leadership to go from the vision to reality. And he has been that leader over the last several years, ensuring that the physical project has progressed, but also that the curriculum and the accreditation and the staffing of the facility have also progressed at the same pace. So, Professor Sankat, we owe you, as the founder of this institution, a special mention, a special part in the history for Berbice and for the development of the country, as you've laid these critical foundations for not just oil and gas education, but many, many more strands of education to be led here in Belize. Thank you. It may take a leader, but it also takes a team. And so I want to mention Uniteam and the Learning Corp International, two key companies that have been involved in bringing the curriculum, in bringing instructors here, helping us ensure that we have the right facilities. And for those that have the opportunity to tour the workshops, these are world-class, state-of-the-art facilities that cannot but inspire the youngsters of Guyana. And I'm sure we're going to hear it in the voices of the students today, to learn and to be the very best that they can be. As the professor also mentioned to Mr. Rafiq, he helped us to build, first of all, the simulator, the training simulator that has been operating now for, I think, the best part of 2 years. So in the way that we run this, the first 12 months is in classrooms and workshops, and then followed by 6 months of intensive simulator training, which is now being done at the simulator just up the road. At this point, we now start the first 12 months here in Guyana. So all of the training can be done here in Belize soil. So it is a team that makes it happen. It's a leader that ensures that we drive to the vision that is so strategic. I'm thankful to be a part of this. I'm thankful to have been on that journey, to have seen it come from those first conversations to reality, and for what it means for Guyana, for the development of its people, the investment in the most valuable resource in the country. It isn't the oil and gas, although it's worth a lot. It's the people of Guyana that will sustain the country for the future. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for the powerful blessings that we heard. This is going to be a wonderful institution, and many, many wonderful people are going to come from it. So thank you for joining us today to celebrate the opening of the GTTCI training facility. Thank you.
We now come to the feature address by a gentleman who, every time he speaks energy and a whole lot of optimism and hope into what we have in store for us here in Guyana. Vision, he speaks life into it, and of course the vision, we will hear about it this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for His Excellency President Mohammed, Dr. Mohammed Birkan.
Thank you very much. Please have your seats. Allow me first of all to acknowledge the presence of members of the cabinet, senior leadership of Exxon and the consortium, leaders in the private sector, leaders in our religious community, the Chancellor of the University of Guyana, our National Security Advisor, the beautiful students. Put your hands together for these students. As a matter of fact, stand. I want Guyana to see you. Stand. The students. You're a student, the National Security Advisor, you know. Come on, give them a big round of applause. Let me hear the people in the back. Thank you. You may have your seats. I want the female students to stand again, please. And the guy, the tall cameraman, you're blocking my view, man. I want to hear a big round of applause. This is what inspires the future. 10 years ago, we did not have as many female who saw technical education as a pathway for their own development and their own profession. I'm so confident about the future because of these young people. Thank you very much. Please have your seats. You know, my job is simple. To come up with the craziest of ideas and hope it gets implemented somehow. And I know, and I'm happy that my friend, and I have absolutely no hesitation in calling him my friend, Alistair. And that is because of a number of reasons. When we first met in a very tense room in 2020, we had many decisions to make, important decisions for this country. But both the government and our partners knew that we had to make these decisions. Tough as they were, different as they were. First conversation about local content, how we bring more businesses in, how we get more of our people trained. And I remember throwing out a number of crazy ideas, and Alistair was in there getting redder and redder. And you know, sometimes when I look at Ashley and Marcia, when I throw some of these ideas, I know my cabinet by now, and people, and you'll see their face go like, again, where you got this one from? But it is this crazy creation of ideas with a wonderful team that is ready to take these crazy ideas and to work in molding them that really define nations that are successful. You know, I was telling Alistair, imagine their country is 100 years into oil and gas. Against a country that is 10 years into oil and gas. Less than 10 when we took the decision to build a world-class facility. A simulator that is 1 in 10 in the world. Those decisions are not easy to make, but they're decisions that are built on an understanding of what the future requires. An understanding as to what we want for our people. It is easy. The easiest decision was for someone to come and say, take 120 million US, more than $20 billion, and share it out. But we decided we wanted to invest more than 120 million US dollars in the future of this country for today, tomorrow, and 100 years in the future. So unlike countries that are 100 years into oil and gas without any training facility, when we are 100 years into oil and gas, we will be the #1 training facility in the world. Because energy diversification is a big topic in the world today. And energy diversification is not only moving from coal to oil, then to natural gas. Energy diversification is how you diversify the economic profile around everything that deals with energy, including technology, including the data centers, and everything that consumes energy. How do you position yourself in your country to be in that loop in which energy and your access to energy really pushes the country forward? And those were exciting meetings in 2020 and 2021. But we were clear that this is what we wanted. We were clear that we wanted it here in Berbice because Port Morant has a rich tradition of producing the finest technical workers in the world. The Port Morant Technical Institute is one of the finest technical institutes, produce, if not the best, some of the best machinists in the world, leading global brands today. Port Morant produced that. And we have to find a team. Before I get to the team, I want to recognize Alistair, the entire team, Marcus, then Matt, and the whole team at Exxon and of course the consortium, for working with us, for embracing this vision that has now started. Because by the end of my presidency, I would like Guyana not only to have this technical college that will be under the umbrella of our technical university, Professor Sankat.
Wow.
But more importantly, I want Guyana to be able to have the capacity of trading our own oil, the capacity of bringing more business in the marine sector, of having the capacity to have vessels, working with vessels that transport our oil, that does all the refueling. We have to be able to build the capacity to have storage on land and in Guyana. So we're going the full leg, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about Berbice. I'm mindful that I'm speaking at the Energy Conference on Tuesday. But there's some exciting news in the coming days, again, with our development partner. When I went to Silicon Valley and we were looking at all of this amazing work around the world, I came across a school that Exxon is supporting in Houston. Amazing STEM school. And as I walked through the school, Alistair was showing off, you'll see what we're doing here with young children. He did not know then what he knew afterwards. That is, by the time we exited the last door, I said, Alistair, we're building one of this in Guyana. And again, we bite into the crazy idea, and in the coming days, we'll have exciting news as to how we're going to pursue that. And that, again, is a force in this part of the world, and it's among the top STEM school in the world, and it's going to be integrated into the ecosystem of Exxon. So we have now started. So I want to, as I said, thank Alistair. I want to thank Professor Sankat. When we started this journey, we had to find people. I knew Professor Sankat from previous life, including some feds at UWI, that he's a big organizer. Nobody don't know. His specialty is actually organizing carnival fets. He is known to have organized some of the best carnival fets. And I still recall our first conversation when he encouraged me to do my PhD. And some years after, I decided to pursue that. So Professor Sankat, when he first came on, I could see in Alistair's eyes and his team, this guy have the energy to do this thing, this man is in retirement. But I think you've shown what commitment, energy is driven by commitment. And that is what creates the success, the commitment to the task. I want to thank you, the entire team for tremendous work. Of course, the contractor, Rafiq, and your entire team. When you started the simulator again, we had to prove to Exxon that the local team can actually do this. Not only did you prove that we can do it, but you proved to the extent that this building, this facility was entrusted in your hands, and what a remarkable delivery on time. So I want to thank you. I want to thank Marcia and the entire team. From Office of the President, and Vic, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, and all the members of Cabinet, Zulfi, and all those who, played specific interest in ensuring that this project was advanced. But again, I told Marcia from the first day we hired Professor Sankat, you have to learn additional patience. Because, you know, the first couple of weeks was not easy. You know, you have to marry a number of different styles together. Exxon style, Professor Sanka's style, Marcia style, and I, you know, when all of them come with the different style, I just put the hammer down and say, listen, just get it done. And so it's a team effort. And I want to really recognize the team for the amazing job that they did. Now, this development cannot be seen in isolation as to what is happening across Region 6. We already have, Frank will tell you, the nursing school being done here in Region 6. That will train thousands of your residents here in Region 6 in nursing, also in patient care, and all of these, in all of these areas. We also decided, and I see the Dean of Engineering is here, Chancellor, that the University of Guyana must ensure that all engineering courses are offered here in Berbice. We have all of the facilities here now, and the School of Medicine must be fully operational here in Berbice. And if it is not fully operational, then I will have serious difficulty with the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, the University of Guyana, and all those who were given that mandate. Because I said I wanted to be fully operational here in Berbice. And I hope, Kofi, it is fully operational here in Berbice, because there is no excuse. We have all of the facilities. This facility is given world-class certification. I've also asked that the next hospital, which is a level 5 hospital that is being built in New Amsterdam, that is going to be a teaching hospital. So very much different from a normal hospital. It will be a teaching hospital, and a hospital that will be specialized in research also, and cardiac services, major cardiac. It will be the cardiac center for the whole region. One of the things also, as I'm on that topic, that I want the Ministry of Health to do is to launch an aggressive campaign within the next 6 weeks, touching every community, and I'm happy the religious leaders are here. I want the religious community to be critically integrated in this campaign, especially in our rural areas. A campaign to deal with diabetes and high pressure. We want a public health campaign with flyers, with programs to reach every single citizen hand. We have to deal with this public health crisis. Outside of this, again, Exxon and the team, they are working with us on building out our sporting infrastructure in Region 6. Already, the outfield of that stadium is the fastest draining outfield in the world. So we have just tested, and it's draining, I was told, 3 times faster than Providence Stadium, and you know how fast Providence Stadium drains. So it's amazing work that is being done very quietly. And when you look at the type of development and the trickle-down effect this will bring in Region 6, it's just enormous, enormous. Outside of that, in the next coming days, you'll hear us talking about Phase 2 gas. And we have to get that done before 2030. Before the end of this first quarter, all the critical decisions will be made as to what we are doing. We are hoping that Suriname will be here to have some serious discussions on whether we have an integrated project with Suriname. If we don't get a decision very quickly, we'll have to commence our own project, but we want this project to be integrated for regional security. Very, very important. Phase 2 gas also will have an exclusive economic zone and a deep water port. Right now, we have finalized with one of the top international companies, Bechtel, and they are now doing the financial feasibility for that port. And that, of course, would lead into the opportunities for investment and financing. We have a number of countries and major stakeholders waiting for this report. We have a team led by the governor of the state of Roraima coming in to kickstart conversation on transshipment and Guyana becoming a transshipment hub for the state of Roraima. So a lot of things will be happening in the coming days. So the deepwater port, the phase 2 of gas, and we want all of these things to be on point by 2030 for no other reason but that I feel this responsibility is on my shoulder. As president, I do not want to pass this burden or this weight onto someone else. I rather them inherit the fruits of the collective hard labor of all of us in this country. Now, it's also important for us to understand that this is a master plan. And I want to go through with you a short journey as to how things happen, because I've listened to presentations in the budget, and I really believe that we should have some training in how national development works and how the process of development takes place. The type of simplistic narrative shows immense lack of understanding of how national development takes place. And I think one of the reasons is because a number of the MPs, they look at things in a very simplistic, narrow way, without understanding economic implications and understanding how societies are structured and work. And we have to, the Minister of Finance needs to do some serious work. And I will encourage him to organize a training for some of the MPs in Parliament, especially from the opposition, mostly from the opposition, maybe completely from the opposition, on how these things work. It's very important that because you need an opposition to understand the trajectory of the government, of the country. All MPs should and must understand the trajectory of the country. Otherwise, they are not going to be able to critically and analytically position themselves in a context of understanding how this development is taking place. And let us go in a little journey here. The Guyana Technical Training College is in Region 6. What is the aim of this training college? It is one of the, if not the most strategic investment we have made so far in oil and gas. It will develop our workforce. It's an investment in our workforce, an investment in the future of our country. As Alistair said, it will cost a lot. We know this. Between 2022 and 2026, the government, our partners, we have financed, constructed, commissioned, and operationalized a state-of-the-art technical training facility, initially designed for Guyanese, but already We know that this institute will be available for Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, and further afield. All those who are going into deep sea drilling, they will have to find themselves here, and we are open. We are open. And this would allow for high-income technical careers in the petroleum sector and other advanced industries. And you will see soon announcements being made about how we will convert the Gaisuku Training Institute under this umbrella, modernizing it and equipping it to match the type of capacity and capability here that is linked to the development of our country. And of course, I intend to have a discussion with Alistair on how we also now build out the technological node, knowing some of the things we want phase 2 of gas to do, and how do we now start training and positioning persons to function in that economy. So, Region 6 is also known as the agricultural hub. The Minister of Agriculture is not here by accident. He also will be tasked with ensuring that we build a state-of-the-art agricultural training facility in Region 6 to support the industrialization of agriculture and to support the development of a food industry. The industrialization of agriculture and the development of a food industry. So, what an amazing time to be young. Young in Guyana and to be young here in Berbice. Sometimes I listen to the simplistic messages of what people conceive development to be. But development is a temporary endeavor for lasting results. Just like a project. A project is a temporary endeavor for a lasting result. The building of this campus was a temporary endeavor to get the facility here, but for lasting results. So the development we pursue is temporary because the time we take to build the facilities and infrastructure. But the results of those development is lasting. And that is why the Minister of Labor, Communication, and Youth, they are important in this process. Because they have that important responsibility of aligning. That is why we rename the Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning. Because the realignment of our manpower capacity and gap, and then the reorganizing is important for the future. So today, I continue this journey. In Budget 2022, we announced the 2021 Guyana Technical Training College at Port Morant. Budget 2022 catered for the first phase of investment. The strategic impact from that budget was Region 6 was formally designated as a National Oil and Gas Technical Training Center. And I wonder if Region 6 understand what this means. Your region, Region 6, has been designated the National Capital for Oil and Gas Technical Training. Please have an appreciation as to what this means for your region. In Budget 2024, the first training phase was operationalized. Phase 1 of the training college was operationalized. The first cohort of 25 Guyanese students were enrolled. The training was delivered using advanced facility simulator, the factor technology, and I was telling the Chancellor about that investment and how amazing it is, and I hope you have an opportunity to tour it. It is just a remarkable facility. The training areas included mechanical maintenance, electrical systems, instrumentation, process operations. I want to stop here by reminding Alistair that we were technically advised that to get this completed and up and running will take at least 7 years. 6 or 7 years. Remember, Alistair? We did it in less than 4 years. 3 years, we had it operational. That by itself is a success story deserving of celebration. What was the strategic impact? So remember first, the strategic impact for Region 6. You're designated the Technical Oil and Gas Training Capital. Region 6 begins producing trained oil and gas technicians. Budget 2025 saw the facility commissioned and first graduates produced. The facility simulator fully commissioned at Port Morant. Additional cohort of 33 trainees progressing through program. And importantly, in just 3+ years, the program expanded to include specialized petroleum support roles. In just 3 years, not only delivering what we built it to deliver, but expanding the program. What was the strategic impact? Region 6 begins delivering skilled workers directly into Guyana's oil economy. In budget 2026, campus completed and training expanded. That is the strategic outcome that we are going to pursue. The full GTTC campus, more than 50 Guyanese graduates produced, an additional 20 trainees scheduled to graduate in 2026. I hope you're following the timeline and to see how structured this process was. What was the strategic impact for Region 6? Region 6 now hosts a fully operational National Oil and Gas Technical Training Institute. Of course, the direct employment and economic stimulation is another important factor that we have to account for. So my friends, today is a journey. And I want to now briefly turn my attention to how does the GTTCI fits into the PPP civic vision for the development of Guyana. And it's important because we have a responsibility to report on our stewardship. In the PPPC manifesto, it directly advances the party's long-standing goals of economic transformation, human transformation and development, regional equity, local content participation, and industrial diversification under a broader framework of building a modern, prosperous, and inclusive One Guyana. I wish now to highlight how the GTTCI aligns with the core pillars of the PPP Civic Development Vision. First, human capital development, converting oil wealth into skilled Guyanese workforce. The PPP Civic strategic objective was to transform Guyana's population into a highly skilled workforce, capable of sustaining a modern industrial economy. This today is a realization of this vision of our manifesto. Why? Because the GTTCI trains Guyanese in technical disciplines critical to the oil and gas operations. Secondly, local content and economic sovereignty. The PPP Civic Strategic Objective is to ensure Guyanese citizens and businesses directly benefit from oil production. And I want to recognize the enormous work of Jerry Jr. from the Private Sector Commission and Kati. They are champions of local content. They are constantly at my door, seeking out opportunities. And I really want to recognize your strong activism in this area. The PPPC, as I said, strategic objective is to ensure Guyanese citizens and businesses benefit directly from oil production. This is reflected in our Local Content Act, Workforce Training Program, and institutional capacity development. The GTTCI contribution provides a technical workforce required to meet local content targets by supplying certified technicians, process operators, and industrial maintenance specialists. Again, linked directly to that strategy. Thirdly is the regional development and balanced national growth. The PPP Civic Strategic Objective is to distribute development across all regions, not concentrate development, we said, must not be concentrated only in Region 4. GTTCI contribution is an example of how an entire ecosystem is now located here in Region 6, a national technical training hub, a center of industrial workforce development, and a key contributor to Guyana's oil economy. Fourthly, economic diversification and industrialization. The PPP Civic Strategic Objective is to use oil revenue to build a diversified, modern industrial economy. GTTCI supports workforce development for sectors beyond oil. I want to make this very clear, because part of the work that this campus, when expanded, will do is to build our logistics engineer, our process engineer, all linked to the agro-processing industry, the manufacturing industry, the food industry, because that is what the objective is about. So the GTCCI supports workforce development for key sectors, including manufacturing, energy and utilities, infrastructure and construction, the food industry, industrial services. Fifth is youth empowerment and social mobility. The PPC strategic objective is to provide opportunities for young people to access high quality employment and upward mobility. The GTTCI enables young Guyanese to move into careers that offer stable employment, high wages, and technical career progression. Sixth, national competitiveness and regional leadership. Our strategic objective is to position Guyana as a regional leader in energy, industry, and technical expertise. The GTTCI contribute to Guyana becoming a regional center for technical training, a supplier of skilled labor to Caribbean energy sector, a leader in energy workforce. 7, transforming our economy from resource extraction to knowledge-based development. The PPC key objective is to convert natural resource wealth into permanent national capability. The GTTCI represents investment in people, not just infrastructure, creation of institutional capacity, and long-term workforce development. 8 is aligning with the PPC broader national transformation agenda. The GTTCI complements other major PPC initiatives, including gas to energy project, expansion of technical institutes, expansion of housing and industrial zone, digital and technical education investment, infrastructure expansion all across our country. 9th is a strategic political positioning. The GTTCI demonstrates the PPC development model in practice, not just extracting oil, but investing oil revenues into Guyanese people. It shows a clear transition: agriculture, energy, industry, and a knowledge-based economy. The only thing is that we are running all the tracks at the same time, and not the conventional economic model of going up the ladder. Now, for those who like to speak about oil and gas, it is important for us to accept that before 2020 there was oil, but there was no serious national plan to train Guyanese technicians. There was no serious national plan as to how we reinvest resources in oil to create newer forms of wealth. Others spoke about the oil wealth. The People's Progressive Party Civic built the institution to ensure the sustainability of that wealth. Here in Berbice, you have 5 years ahead that will see a new bridge, your new stadium, your state-of-the-art athletic track, 4-lane highways, thousands of new homes being built, tens of thousands of acres of agricultural land being opened, billions of dollars invested in D&I, new secondary schools, expanded university education, expanded technical education, expanded agriculture, the development of all your sports facilities. You in Region 6 have no excuse whatsoever to be successful. You are critically integrated into the development of this country, and you owe it. I say this without a shadow of a doubt, and with the greatest humility. You owe it for successive generations to come to the People's Progressive Party Civic. You have a duty, you have a responsibility, you have a conscience that must always stay with this government, because we have delivered consistently, constantly for this region and every other region in this country. And if by chance you do not see this, and you gamble with your future in any way, shape, or form, I pray that the Lord deliver you from the addiction of gambling and return you to the course of development, progress, and prosperity under the People's Progressive Party. I thank you and God bless you.
most recently, we're bringing lots of trainees to Canada. It's our distinct privilege to be here today. We were honored with being a part of the institutionalization of the equipment, and I'm honored and very proud today to say that the tour is almost exclusively Guyanese led. So I encourage you to ask lots of tough questions to our friends and trainees.
The amazing story here is that this gentleman was part of training the Guyanese in Canada.
Absolutely.
And this is how that knowledge transfer and technology transfer occurred. He then came and helped us to build out here, and not only helped us to build out training, but has helped to develop the local capacity also to conduct the training. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Absolutely.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we got the smoke detectors, fire alarm, and fire extinguishers in every premises. It's all up to the international safety standard.
Great. Where's the guy? Let's go to the
It's 12 months first program. After they finish 12 months, they're coming to the factory for 6 months, which is simulation.
President, the First Lady, all the special invitees, Exxon's official, LCI. I'd like to welcome you guys. I'm going to take you, I'm an electrical trainee. I went to Canada, the previous batch, but now that's going to be eliminated and all the training can be done right here in Guyana. So I'm going to take you guys and show you the electrical department and what the intake 5 trainees are going to be doing here. First, I'm going to take you and show you.
Before you go, tell me how your training is different from a typical electrical engineer or electrical technician training.
Okay, so personally for me, I went to GTI in Georgetown a few number of years ago, and they don't have, I mean, I don't want to say, anything bad about the facility because GTI taught me what I know today, but they don't have nowhere near the facilities, the technology, the equipment that is here present at this new facility.
No, but that's this new facility. But what is
So
what is required of your skill set additionally to function in this sector?
The training that is provided here, that is what is allow me to function, the way.
International certification,
Yeah.
right? Because to work on the FPSO, you have to have a specific certification. You have that now,
Not yet.
but you'll get that through this facility,
Yeah,
March
in a few months we're gonna finish back.
and then you get that certification,
Yes, sir.
and then you can go on the FPSO.
Yes.
Alright. And all of that is because of this investment and what we've done here. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take you now to the first intake 5 training to explain a bit of programming.
So where are you from? All right, let's start by understanding the gentleman. Tell them where you're from
I'm from Good Fortune Region 3.
and what you used to do before,
I was an electrician at Gaisico.
and then you came into this program,
Yes.
and how you found this program.
Very interesting.
Take you to the next level.
Yes. Because it's like more advanced to what I had Gaisico is like really upgraded the technology and everything.
And you feel on top of the world now.
Kind of.
All right, tell us now. Go ahead.
So today I'll be explaining what a PLC is, a programmable logic control. Basically, it's like the brain of a upgraded modern industry. So a PLC works just like a human brain. Human brain needs signals from your 5 senses to operate your brains. So this says PLC needs signals and alarms to operate. So this PLC have a fail-safe. So as you can see, this is a basic traffic light. As everyone knows, we had traffic lights in Thomas, right? So this is a basic traffic light system. The PLC is programmed this traffic light to work so that 2 red green lights cannot face each other at the same time. So this is what the PLC. Now PLCs also do a lot of more modern things too. Like this is also a next program is a stamp and clamp machine.
All right. So the PLC that you're trained on
Yes.
has also predictive modeling, right?
Yes.
For example, go back to the same traffic light. The difference with somebody who trained 40 years ago and you is that in this system, you're trained in the predictive modeling, where the traffic light can look at the traffic and make his own decision on how to orient it. Am I right?
Yes.
And that's the difference with the past and the future, right? Am I?
That's right.
All right. I training with you, you know. In this classroom, in terms of assets and everything, and the lab.
Well, in terms of cost,
Yes.
all right. So, Phil, you could give me some numbers. I think each machine costs $30,000 US.
Just imagine that.
Just one machine.
Each one of these machines. And I want young people to understand this, and the country to understand this. Let's just start from the machine. Each one of this machine costs $30,000 US. That is how the investments are made. That is how investments are made in our people, in the future, in our young people, in skills development, in workforce development. That's just one example. Let's go. Tell us where you're from. Wait. We gotta have everybody hear you. I want Alistair hear you. I want the ministers hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Primarily all the way from Skellen, Borbies.
Skellen Borbies.
Actually reside in Crabble Creek.
And you live in Crabble Creek?
Yes.
You married a girl in Crabble Creek? Yeah. Oh, I know that!
I keep telling them that you're my uncle.
Yeah. Uncle?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, this is a project that is going to cover the Islamic semester. As you can see, we have all the layouts here for a motor starter, which is basically control the stop, start, and the motor correction by changing the frequencies. So we didn't have everything up to show you, demonstrate it, because we will cover it later. What I have here, shows everything about safety, right? This is a category 4 arc flash suit. Category 1 and 2 is basically medium voltage. 3 and 4 is for high voltages. For those who don't know, arc flashes can occur from 110 to 220, which is basically house voltages, and can exceed from 488 to 1000 and beyond. It could go up to 13,000 degree F, which is 3 times hotter than the sun. So this is a category 4. And
this can protect you against that?
Yeah, this can protect you against that. This here is a shepherd's hook. Normally when we use this, it's for energizing or de-energizing high voltage switch gears. So we always have a standby personnel with this here, waiting to yank you in case you left on. Yeah, so that's my presentation.
In case you're magnetically attracted to the power.
Yeah.
So God, Lucas from number 1 village here to
Number 1 village. Go ahead.
So what we have here is this is the wiring skid, whereas the trainees are able to come and practice certain circuits and without being injured or anything, because this is an intrinsically safe skid. We're not competent or trained to work on light power, so we have developed it in such a way that you won't get hurt. Safety is key, so usually power will be locked out so that nobody is authorized. If you're not authorized, you can't work on this skid. What we have here is a forward reverse. The applications for this skid is like you have the overhead cranes. You have I heard you mentioned earlier about fitter machinists that Barbies produce some of the finance fitter machinists. They utilize this specific starter on the lathes. What it does is that it causes the motor to rotate forward and reverse. So it's bidirectional. So just like to ask you to just take a step back, I will like to pause. Give you a small demonstration. So here we have the forward motion. Stop. Then we have the reverse motion. And that is basically it for this skid. A number of other circuits can be done, but today we will just be demonstrating the forward reverse.
Tom. Come on up, Tom. This is the electrical instructor. He's been with the program since 2019.
Cost of just this simple piece of equipment here, and you see how many are in these rooms, is like 30,000, 25 to 30,000 US dollars. So again, you see the magnitude, Cathy, the magnitude of investment that we're making. Each piece, each little piece that you see all around here tells you the quantum of the investment. And we are proud to do it because of you guys. We are proud to do it because we want you to be the best you can be for yourself.
going to give you a demo.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Nice to meet you. I'm Adelphi East Kanji.
Again, I hope Barbados is listening. Tell them where you're from.
Adelphi East Kanji Burbis.
Tell them what you do.
I'm an electrician.
What you used to do before.
I used to work at AGM, electrician.
Wirehouse and so?
No, industrial electrician.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is that different from what you're doing now?
It's similar. We just are getting better equipment to work with.
You're getting modern.
Yeah, modern equipment to work with.
Using technology.
Yeah.
Beating yourself into the future.
Yeah.
All right, tell us.
Hi, First Lady. Good afternoon. How are you? Everybody? Good afternoon. Well, this afternoon, this skid here, this electrical skid is wired to monitor power factor and as well as to correct it. What it is, can you excuse me a bit please while I say this? What it does, it shows you that you have a lagging current compared to the voltage, and that is not efficient when it comes to power factor consumption, power factor. So what we do, we normally induce some capacitance into the already inductive load that we have here. And as we observe, the current would shift closer to the voltage. So we would still want to induce some more capacitance into the circuit. What we aim for in the industry when using electricity is a 0.9 to 95 power factor. So that is what we would normally aim for. Anything below that is considered bad, and we're not using the power that we're paying for efficiently. Yeah. So that is what we do. That's what this skid is designed for. It is to monitor power factor as well as to correct it.
Good job. Tell them what's the name of it.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nessa Rose and I'm from the mining town of Linden.
Woo woo!
Okay then, good afternoon everyone. This afternoon I will be demonstrating a simple RLC circuit. So an RLC circuit consists of resistor, inductor and capacitor. It can either be connected in parallel or series. It is widely used in radio tuning, oscillators to create AC signals and in filters. So understanding the RLC circuit is important to know how each component work together and also how it functions individually. So if we look there, if I put some resistors into the system, we'll see that the current and the voltage unite as one. But if I increase some inductor, you will see that my current lags, as my colleagues say, the current lags in the inductor. Now I'm going to increase some capacitor in the system. You will see my current leads. But also we don't have a correct power factor, and that's why we over there demonstrate how we do the power factor correction. But this is just a simple circuit showing that.
Maybe I could get some of these power capacitors in the parliament.
Yeah.
But that's it, the electrical and now the
Walk through how this works.
It's an amazing equipment.
This is a Z-Space laptop, sir. So it utilizes eye tracking and a stylus to give you an augmented...
Where it looks like it's floating in 3D space. It's a hologram floating above the keys.
And you can press down the button and draw it to you.
Click and hold the button and pull it out.
I guess.
You got to click on it.
Good. Click on the right button.
There, now pull it.
Yes, yes.
Now if you click this button up here, click that button.
Put it back?
Yeah, you can leave it there. It's not going to go away. Now click that and it will explode.
Cancel.
No, not exit. Cancel.
Cancel. Click this button.
Yeah.
And drive.
Steady hands. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, wow.
See the individual components.
You can drive piece by piece outside, yes.
So every piece of process equipment that's on the FPSO is modeled in 3D space, and we're able to use it as a learning platform in the classroom. So you can use it in 3D space on the laptop, or the instructors can project it into 2D space at the front of the classroom, and you can disassemble. So the gas turbine here, a gas turbine costs $2 million. Obviously, we're not going to install them here, but we can virtually use them, disassemble them, reassemble them, and learn about them in a virtual space. So just some of the multiple pieces of technology in this facility, which is really world class.
This is cool. If you had this before, I would have been a technical person.
So now in high schools, there's no longer any. The technology is pretty wild.
And if I go back here,
I'm Alvin Seymour, instrumentation technician trainee assigned to SBM Offshore.
tell them where you're from.
I'm from Victoria, the Forest Village.
All right. Now listen to this. We just went through the electrical aspect, where the average cost of every piece of equipment there is $30,000 US. Here, these young people here in Guyana being trained on equipment where every piece you see here, every piece is approximately $180,000 US. Just imagine the investment we are making in our young people's future. Every single piece you're seeing. Let's go.
Before we begin, all safety protocols that were previously outlined under the 10 still remain in effect. My name is Alvin Seymour, instrumentation trainee technician at SBM Offshore, and my role today is basically to give you a quick tour of what instrumentation really is. Now, in essence, it's basically the science and technology of using instruments to monitor, record, and control physical variables. And in so doing, we can control a process. Now, without any further ado, I'm going to start off by having the trainee pressure calibration. Basically what we're doing here is our serial circuit. So we calibrated the pressure transmitter. This is our system box with our fluke calibration, and this is our basically calibrating this thing. So we can release the isolation valve. So we can calibrate it to 15 psi, the thread. So we're going to fit. No, this so as you look here, you actually line up.
The tuner is here too.
Yeah. So turn, little more. Alright, so I'm gonna cut the there the PSI, and this is our electrical signal. This is 20 milliamp. So basically that's it, and I already calculated this.
So this is like proofing the instrument, ensuring that they are to the industry standard and so on. So the first step here is collaborating to the industry standard. All right.
Now moving on, we have temperature calibration.
Simple setup of how we can calibrate this temperature transmitter toward this 4-wire temperature sensor. And as you can see currently, the temperature sensor is not reading. So what I'm about to do is to troubleshoot this transmitter so the sensor can come up on the gauge to read. So basically going configuration. Currently the transmitter is transmitted to a 3-wire system currently. So this is a 4-wire temperature sensor. So what I'm about to do is change the setting to a 4-wire configuration. advanced. The transmitter has been calibrated to work with 4 temperature sensors.
We now move on to instrument training technician Brixton, and he's going to explain the control valve.
So this is a control valve setup, and it's showing you how the instrumentation is used to control our system in the field. So this loop calibrator sends a 4 to 20 milliamp signal to our valve position, which means our valve is open. So would you like to break down break it? You can move this, hold it up.
Just be mindful of the just be mindful of the potential impact.
Lock it. That's it. That's it. So we can use this, we are technical people, right here. Yes, we can use this to maybe do some of those, the old focus system.
Correct. Yeah.
Hydraulic system. So the steel system, hydraulic.
Yep, we use a torque tube and there's also to translate the work from the road to the
Doctor trying to do it and restart it.